I wanted to say good morning to the board and everybody. My name is Todd Ray. I definitely echo everything that's been said. And I want to say also, when you take into consideration, I myself, I do use Lyft and regular transport, Lyft and fixed route, excuse me, wrong term. But it depends on where I'm trying to go. If I don't know an area, I will use the Lyft. Or like in the case of my wife, she was diagnosed last year with generalized anxiety disorder. And she does have orientation issues. She is a competent traveler, but not necessarily a confident traveler due to some things that have happened in her life to where getting lost literally increases her anxiety level dramatically. Makes it where she goes into a panic attack, and I've witnessed that myself. So, yes, granted, okay, yeah, the majority of the blind and disabled population can use fixed route. But let me tell you, one-size-fits-all policy doesn't necessarily fit. And I also challenge all of you to do as has been spoken. A few years ago, my wife's dog guide, River, had his harness cut by somebody as we were cut and taken off, mind you. As we were, I'm not sure if it was on the max or on the way to. We had someone getting us over to the stairs back when I was trying to memorize the route from the 89 route to the max to the max platform. She went to grab his harness handle when we went to get off the bus, and next thing she knows, there's no harness. So there's that aspect too. And everything that I was going to say has been said by everybody else, but all I want to say is, let's really think about that. If ridership is up overall, how can it be down at the same time? Thank you. Thank you.
Chris Walker and Adam Kirsch.
Hi everybody. I just want to report that my transportation check that I get helps pay part of my bills that I get my transport. Luckily I'm pretty close, but it just has added extra help for my bus passes has been cut. It's Oregon Health Plan to all the health lines in it. They cut it, and so now, even though I'm blessed to have the money I have, it's shorter, and in a few years, going up to $100 fare pass almost will be a real hardship for me and a lot of other people. And then it's just a matter of safety as far as I can't travel at night on Max because it takes so long with service cuts and things that have happened to get a bus to the Max and walk home. And if there's no restroom, as I've said many times before, it's hard to have balance. And then one day I was this was about 7:30 at night, trying to catch the 47 off of MB Drive to go into downtown Hillsborough to walk home. And I somehow missed the last bus. The last bus didn't stop, and I got up there, waited, no bus. So I was out of luck, and I had to call my mom to come get me there after my parents were active. So if I had, if they were home or whatever the next week they were going on vacation, if it had been that week, I would have been stuck. So maybe that was fixed route, and it just concerned that with all these cuts and on some of the less traveled lines that you need to be able to get onto late, what some would say early in the evening. 7, 8 o'clock is kind of early in the evening, and you can't get on them because they're cut. So I'm just concerned that with these fare increases, and as I was at that CAT meeting last week, and it was an agonizing decision for a lot of people, and it was one that everybody struggles over, and I'm just concerned that, yes, people will be priced out of it, and if the economy is, we've seen nobody's acting in Washington, D.C., and it just could go out of control, and I'm just worried that less economy, more service cuts. So.
Thank you, Chris.
Adam? Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Chris, and I'm also a commissioner with the Polling Commission with Disabilities. I also attend a lot of the CAT meetings as well. And going on kind of what Michael was saying earlier, at the last CAT meeting, they did vote to not support the fare increase, and so I think it's just, I think it's very prudent to take that into account, knowing that the CAT is supposed to be an advisory board to Trimet. Also, the number that you gave, about 90% being able to use fixed routes as well as the lift. Well, that's all well and good. But, and I don't use Lyft, so I don't have like any type of personal stories or anything. But in listening to everybody that has spoken so far, what I'm hearing is that yes, a lot of the people in this room probably would be able to take fixed routes, but they also need the lift. So you need all possible options. So instead of taking away options, you need to add options. Fixed route is great, but if you increase the lift fares, especially in a lot of these folks that are on fixed incomes, as Patricia spoke of, $150 a month, you are basically forcing people to choose between, okay, I got to go to the supermarket today, and I know it's on a fixed route, but I know it would be easier for me to take a lift. But because of the money issue, I have to take the fixed route. They may miss their stop. They may not be able to get their bus. They may be, like Chris mentioned, about they may get to their stop and the bus passes them by, and that's the last stop of the day, and, screw it. I better go home. So the other thing is that I'm very sensitive to the economic conditions. I don't think anybody in this room is disagreeing with the idea that it's financially prudent to, do things to make the economic situation better. And people with disabilities are not asking for any type of special treatment. They're not asking for no fare increases, if everybody gets a fare increase. They're not asking for unfair or special treatment. It's not about special treatment. it's about equal treatment.
Right.
So, it's about equal treatment, and if you're not going to punish, if you're not, I don't want to say punish because that's a bad word, but if you're going to do some changes that are going to affect people with disabilities, then it judges equality to do things that are effective for everybody else. If you're continuing to put every burden on people with disabilities, you're losing a major representation in Portland and in Oregon itself. So thank you.
Thank you. And David King.
Yes. Lovely to see you all again. I'm very concerned about what is seems imminent, and they've already decided on increasing our fares to the Trimet lift unjustly, inequitably, with the fixed route. We are all honored citizens. You have to be an honored citizen, be disabled, to ride the Trimet lift. I like it when I can get on spontaneously and ride the bus, but your bus system is unsafe for me as a disabled person and for many. It's not an option to secure wheelchairs on the Trimet lift, although these very large objects are seated next to me, and should we have a bus crash, it will be upon me. I'm always concerned about that. I'm a retired nurse. I'm here representing disabled American veterans, as I'm a lifetime member and active there. I couldn't go to my meetings without the Trimet lift safely at night. I'm a target for abuse, and this thing dumps over easily. And my crutches are also very difficult to use. Anyway, I devoted my life to nursing and wanted to make a career in the military. I would hope to be sitting here as Colonel Rash, but I'm only First Lieutenant Rash. Because of disabilities, multiple disabilities, I was unable to practice nursing anymore. It's very sad for me, but due to the Trimet lift, I'm able to volunteer for renters' rights and other volunteer things when my health, when I'm able to. I couldn't hold a job because I'm not sure from day to day if I'm able to get out of bed. But I think we're we all want safety. Everybody here on the board wants safety for ridership. You're all compassionate people. I don't think that you're doing this out of an uncompassionate nature, but it's clearly inequitable that honored citizens get no fare increase, and then the burden is put on us. If you made your buses safer for wheelchair and walkers and other people with disabilities, there's only one place I can sit on the bus, on the left-hand side, because my leg doesn't straighten out effectively for long periods of time. So anyway, and I fall off of the chairs because my feet don't touch the ground on the side ones. So I've had to let buses pass me up because there's no place for me to sit.